The views and opinions expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Nash Community College, the Board of Trustees of Nash Community College, or the North Carolina Community College System.
We don't need no stinking budget. Oh, no.
Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
You play ball like a girl! Oh, yeah! Gonna play!
And Leon's getting larger. Nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Well, thank you very much. Can I be in charge for a while?
Hello, y'all. Welcome to Big Bang Cinema. Nice to see you again. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Tyler, man, how you doing? I didn't get to see you last week.
Oh, I don't know. I came here and you weren't here. Somebody said you lost your voice and.
No, I was here. I was here.
Oh well, I got called. Someone said you lost your voice, and I was like, I was gonna come here helping, looking on the couch or whatever, look for it.
No. Well,
in the back of a drawer somewhere.
The back of a drawer. But yeah. No, I mean, for those that don't know, I was a little bit
under the
unspoken.
weather.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt all right, but I just couldn't speak. My voice was pretty gone. We couldn't really do a show if I couldn't really speak. So we're back now. We have a jam-packed show today, man. Like we have so much on the roster.
Jam-packed?
Yeah, it's jam-packed. Like we got.
What kind of jam is in it?
It's delicious. It's the
Grape.
kind of that has some substance
What I like? Kind of jam I like.
What?
I like what's the little red thing? It's called the come on jelly. That stuff's good.
Oh, but what does this have to do with movies?
Oh, you said jam-packed, like a Danish, jam-packed with jam.
Well, guys, in case you don't know, this is the show where we talk about movie news, movie reviews, and everything in between.
Got me thinking about food.
Speaking about food, Leonardo DiCaprio is rumored to be in the new Joker movie, produced by Martin Scorsese and directed by the Hangover director.
I don't want to see this.
You don't want to see this?
I do not want to see this. I was hoping Leo was going to be the new Joker.
Well, that was the first rumor. I mean, so also something that's come out since last week is that Jared Leto has been confirmed to pretty much come back as the Joker in the DCEU.
Oh, no.
But I don't think this is connected to the DCEU. I think this is connected to, this is more connected to like a standalone kind of project.
Why are they doing standalones? There's no point in doing standalone if you got a franchise going.
Well, they want to make money.
Makes it confusing.
Come on. Like
how many people are going to be confused seeing this?
Money. Like, well, I think a lot of people are going to get confused seeing this, but I think this is a big thing. Like, they think there's a story there. They got a pretty good director, a really good producer, you know. Leonardo DiCaprio, definitely one of the biggest actors around, probably of our generation right now. Mm-hmm. So if you got Leonardo DiCaprio in a movie about the Joker, people will see it. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at that face. Just look at it. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you want to see that guy in a movie about a clown that, like, kills people?
Wait, are we talking about it?
No, it's the other clown, the other crazy clown.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. First off, I don't know if Jared Leto is going to be in this one. Most likely not, because I think it's going to be taking place in the 80s.
80s?
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. No movie or television show has ever had a playful, fun thing going on in the 80s. Ever. Like, the 80s is such an unexplored decade. Nobody has ever done a movie or anything that gives fondness back to the 80s.
Are you being sarcastic? Are you being sarcastic? I can't tell. I've already thought about sarcasm.
No.
You're not being sarcastic?
I'm being totally serious.
Okay.
No movie has ever looked fondly back in the 80s in a playful way. Of course I'm being sarcastic,
okay.
Yeah.
I bet give you like 5 off the top of my hand right now. But
but I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe this movie is going to be good, but Warner Brothers is producing it, and it's part of the DCEU.
Did you say Water Brothers?
Water Brothers.
Because that's all it is, man. It's just water under the bridge. Because you can get this over with. I want it done. I just want to recast the Joker, get him to be the Joker, rewrite the story.
You think Leo would be a good Joker, really?
Leo would be a good anything. Leo would be the Joker and Batman at the same time.
I think he would.
Am I right? Could he do it? He could be Batman and Joker.
I think he would be a Joker that screams a lot.
He could Nutty Professor all of Batman's villains and be Batman. How awesome
He'd
would
be
that
better than this guy. This guy's just downright awful as the Joker. And he's a great actor,
Think about him as Poison Ivy. That'd be the crazy part. He'd be like, He'd be like, Batman. Oh, you gotta eat some bread, baby. Eat some bread.
Was he Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, he's like he's going to like Nutty Professor, like all the characters.
Breaking down race and gender roles, guys.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Speaking about
Leo, incredible actor.
Colin Trevorrow.
Oh, Colin Trevorrow. Oh, you talking about Jurassic World guy?
Yeah.
What? The guy who made that $1 billion movie last year?
Yes.
$1.5 billion?
Well, yeah, and the production for this movie took about as long as you took it to say his name. I almost didn't say that word right. Okay. But anyway, for those that don't know, Colin Trevorrow was attached to Star Wars Episode 9. Now he's not. Now JJ Abrams is going to be directing and writing Star Wars Episode 9.
Sounds like they're trying to play it safe. That's what it does. Sounds like they're trying to play it safe.
See how many fingers he's holding up? That's how many a million he's going to get for this movie.
500 million.
I imagine that's pretty much how he's going to go. Yeah. But kind of going into it, because I don't know if you've heard enough about this either. Colin Trevorrow, who directed, like you said, Jurassic World, Safety Not Guaranteed, was attached to write and direct Star Wars Episode 9. Mm-hmm. He was attached pretty much since Episode 7 came out, maybe a little bit before. He's been working on this movie for a long time. So in between production, the pre-production of this movie, he went and made a movie, wrote and directed it. It was called Book of Henry.
Oh.
I never saw Book of Henry.
Is that the blind guy with the Bible?
No, I believe that's called Book of Eli.
Is that in the Bible?
No.
All right.
The name Eli is. But
okay.
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow is in this. He made the movie Book of Henry, wrote and directed it. It's a huge critical and financial flop. Again, I've never seen the movie. I don't know what the movie's about, so I can't judge it. But it's got like 9 or 10% Rotten Tomatoes. People hated it. Even when it came out on video, I don't think people responded to it. So obviously Disney got a little wary. You know, Disney likes to play it safe as much as they can. They want to get something they know is going to sell. So then they brought a guy named Jack Thorne on who wrote Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is another thing I haven't looked into or read. But according to our producer Andrew Small, it's basically a reboot of the Harry Potter series.
It's a play, man.
It's a play. It's like a reboot of the Harry Potter series in a way that kind of like, it's also a book. But like it has every little element of all the Harry Potter books in there and gives you all kind of the little, remember this kind of things? So
you remember Harry Potter? You remember wands? So, I remember wands.
Yeah, so they put them in there to kind of take away Colin Trevorrow's writing privileges. So then they just like, why don't we throw the baby out with the bathwater? Let's get rid of Colin altogether, because I think he was trying to do things that were different.
Throwing babies out with bathwater?
Yeah.
That is the sickest thing I've ever heard you say.
Well, hey, Colin Trevorrow is that baby, and his writing is the bathwater, and he definitely got thrown out. So, in order to play it safe, they called their old friend JJ Abrams to take over writing and directing. So, what do you think about that?
I think you sound like Joan Crawford.
John Crawford?
Joan Crawford.
Who's that?
The woman who used to beat and kill her children. The actress. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about JJ Abrams in Episode 9?
Okay, Episode 9 right now. I think it's probably going to be... It's probably going to be called Revenge of the Jedi, Episode 9. That's what it's probably going to be called, Revenge of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah. Do you think it's really going to be a reboot of Return of the Jedi?
Well, I wouldn't say it's going to be a complete reboot. I think it's going to be little cat people, and they're going to like help them like fight the New Order, and they're going to be like it's going to be like a big showdown with Kylo Ren, and then he's going to be like, join me, whatever, on the dark side of the Force, dark side to the moon, whatever, and then it's gonna be like instead of a jungle planet, it's gonna be like a desert planet. See?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah, it sounds like a plot reboot from like Revenge of the Jedi.
But I mean,
Return of the Jedi, excuse me.
Well, it's called Revenge of the Jedi for a long time. But I mean, I don't know how I think about this. I mean, JJ Abrams is a competent director, but like I said before, he's like the Chili's of directors. Kind of like, you know, you go there, everything's really good. You know, I like burgers. Burgers are pretty good. You know, nothing really blows you away in a way. You know, everything's really good. Everything's competent. You know, the service is okay. You leave and you had fun with the family, but you don't really leave with anything of any sustenance or anything like that really kind of stuck with you in like a really more than that. It's good. He's a really safe director, and he's a great director. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he's made some great stuff in the past. I really love Super 8, but when it comes he's the working man's director.
Are you talking about Violent E.T.?
Violent E.T., yes.
Yeah, that's what it was about.
But
he rehashes other stuff and remakes it. That's what it is. He's a rehasher.
Yeah, I'm really afraid this is a ploy to make it safe.
It is a ploy.
And I hope it's more than that. I hope they do something fun and original, although they've had bad experiences with directors in the past trying to do stuff original. But somebody we even haven't introduced yet that we pretty much is the third man on the show over here on the fact-checking cam, Hunter, man, how you doing?
Looking very beardy today, buddy.
I'm crushing it as always.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you think about JJ Abrams coming for episode 9?
Lens flare.
Okay, going on to the next.
You're saying that he was the Chili's, right?
Yeah, the Chili's.
Sometimes you're in the mood for Applebee's.
Yeah, Applebee's is kind of the same way.
No,
Applebee's is like Jon Favreau, and Chili's is JJ Abrams.
How dare you compare Chili's to Applebee's?
Applebee's has the Asian crunchy salad, man.
Well, speaking about Asian crunchy salads, Amazon and Apple are wanting the James Bond rights right now. They're up for grabs.
Oh, look. So if they get it on Amazon, could I buy it through Prime if they buy the rights for it?
I think so, yeah.
If I can buy the rights through Prime. That's what I want. I'll make my own James Bond movie in my backyard.
Yeah, so apparently the film rights for James Bond have gone up for and Amazon and Apple are in a bidding war.
Why don't we put our money up and try to get it on that? What do you think?
Because I don't even have like $1,000 in my name, let alone a couple billion to bid on James Bond rights.
Well, why don't we just borrow it and just like go out and barter for it? You know what I mean?
Because that always works.
Borrow the money from the bank.
Okay, Bob. What do you think? What do you think about this? Would you rather Apple have, or would you rather Amazon have these rights?
I would rather Sony have these rights.
We've already overplayed the no, but
you don't be a sarcastic, right? Because they're the ones that had the rights before.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I think this is more reproduction rights.
Reproduction rights.
As far as kind of like putting the films out there in order for people to kind of like view on their websites instead of making the films. I think I don't know, but. Oh look, there's this iPhone. How nice. But yeah, Sony's really bad about trying to product placement right now. I think they're Warner Brothers right now. They're attached to Warner Brothers. But yeah, if they were to get attached the rights to one of these, Amazon or Apple, what would you want them to be on? What's the platform?
Amazon.
Amazon? Why?
Yeah. Amazon is Apple would be proprietary and just for like Mac. But so if they wanted the James Bond franchise to reach like the largest audience possible, why not go through Amazon? Because I mean, if you're talking about digital distribution, Amazon's just a website.
Or
that you just
Netflix.
Go to it. Yeah. Netflix would be fantastic for it.
Netflix would be kind of cool.
But I mean, it'd be interesting to see like them do something because Amazon also owns Twitch.
Yeah.
So they would also could do like little James Bond marathons for like charity.
Baby Bond films where it's a little kid, James Bond as a kid growing up to be a spy.
I don't know. I kind of like. I love
Baby Bond.
Apple really does a good job. Like if I wanted to see a movie, like it's good. Like we can just watch it on the iTunes store, and it always gives me a good high quality version.
See, I'm going bootleg. That's how I'm going to like go on the internet.
You have to download iTunes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Amazon, it's a website.
Amazon is always there.
Right straight to it.
But I don't think the streaming is as good as. It's just something about the streaming quality.
I stream all my stuff out of Sweden. I mean, I got the best quality ever. So he knows what I'm talking about. Right out of Sweden.
Okay. Well, speaking about Sweden, Zack Snyder.
Oh no.
Yeah, our favorite director, Zack Snyder, has made a short film called Snow, Steam, Iron. I think we have a picture, video.
Is there a comma between these three words?
Snow, Steam, Iron. I think it's like 3 different words.
Or it's like a thing called a snow steam iron.
A snow. I don't think so. But,
is it about like fixing clothes, like getting clothes straight or something?
No, I don't know, but it's definitely got his visual style. To me, the
iron.
cinematography doesn't look as nice as something like his other films. Yeah. It looks a little cheap because it probably was a little bit made a little bit cheaper than a lot of his other films. It's definitely got that dark kind of tone to it. Probably doesn't have much of a story, but who knows? Just kind of looking at that, what do you think?
I don't know. It's like a better looking Sin City.
Yeah, a better looking Sin City.
Yeah.
A better looking Sin City. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to really think about it. I mean, we only got 20 seconds of it, but the interesting thing is it's coming out on this app called Vero.
Vero.
Vero is like a really obscure app.
Gosh, what are all these apps coming out for movie streaming now? There's so many of them.
Well, this one, Zack Snyder obviously got attached to. They probably approached him and was like, "We want you to promote our product. If you want to, make some sort of short film to promote it." Because
it's
everyone loves Zack Snyder.
Yeah, it's the market placement.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think this is going to be something like the Vimeo kind of streaming service, something a little bit higher quality. Vimeo, yeah. Something a little higher quality than YouTube, where the compression rate's not as.
Or PrimeWire.ag.
No, but yeah, Hunter, would you download this app to see something like a Zack Snyder short film?
Hunter, would you bootleg it?
Neither.
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 No.
Would you not even care?
Not really.
Yeah. there
Like,
you
I mean,
go.
looking at this,
Wise words from a wise
It doesn't
man.
really pique my interest.
I'm not.
very
My
much.
interest is just there's nothing at all.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Zack Snyder anyway, as most people that watch the show and know me know. I have no doubt he's a nice guy. I think he has a really, he's never really hit it out of the park for me as far as directing goes. His visuals are pretty good, okay, but the story elements and character he has in his movies, I just don't feel. So I don't know. Maybe this will be better, maybe not. I think this is more of a marketing ploy to try to get this app off the ground. And just good to know he's doing okay after what happened after Justice League.
Look at him. He was like, I can't believe you just said all that. Look at him. Look on his face. How dare you?
But hey, at least he's far away from Justice League. At least he's far away from Justice League. It was terrible circumstances that brought him away, but at least to know he's doing something he kind of enjoys.
Sucker Punch.
It's basically Sucker Punch. It looked a lot like Sucker Punch.
Sucker
It was if the budget was knocked down like a.
You realize if that was all dudes in Sucker Punch, somebody would have watched it.
Yeah, because that's gay. But guys,
no,
thank you so much.
Them girls were hot, and those little. She was hot. What's her name? Emily Browning.
I think so. Yeah, it was Emily Browning.
Emily Brown. Oh, Google away,
She
sir.
was very hot.
Google check my facts.
Okay, yeah, but it's Emily Browning.
It is Emily Browning.
It is indeed Emily Browning.
Yeah, she's very hot.
Very.
But yeah, he loves his hot women and his sepia tone, very low contrast saturation thing.
Well, are we talking about him or are we talking about...
We're talking about Zack Snyder.
Okay, we're talking about Zack Snyder.
But guys, thank you so much. That's going to do it for our movie news. If you guys have anything to say to us on Facebook, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. So we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we have a really fun segment talking about movies that got stuck in development and production hell.
Tulip Fever.
That's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
In a world where some things are beyond legend, they will search for answers. Be prepared. Hang on to your seats. They are going where no one has gone before. Until now.
Why are you so close to me?
I don't know. Let me back up a little bit. Yo, check out our show on
No.
Big Bang Radio. No. Okay.
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
Nash Community College will host the inaugural Bounty and Barrel event Thursday, November 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. Join the community for an evening of North Carolina harvests, meats, and seafood while sampling barrel-aged spirits and student craft beer, plus a VIP hour with special guest and certified spirits specialist. Don't miss this Bounty and Barrel event, November 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. on the campus of Nash Community College in Rocky Mount.
Hey guys, welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. I'm Isaac Anderson.
And I need no introduction.
You always say that, and I don't know who you are.
You know who I am.
I don't like you.
You know who I am.
But guys, thank you so much for returning. Real quick,
You know who it is.
since we didn't have a show last week, I wanted to kind of start the segment out, and the segment is going to be about
Tulip Fever.
Well, not necessarily. It's partly about that. This it's about production hell movies.
Production hell.
Movies that got stuck in what's called production hell. And in case you never heard that term before, it means movies that, and we can even go development hell with this, movies that kind of got stuck into a development phase or a phase kind of like in production and never kind of really got out of it, never got released, never got any further than like making sets and filming or going into the script. It just like continuously is being developed and just never getting off the ground. So a big movie that that happened that way is a movie called Tulip Fever. Tulip Fever is a movie that has come out I think last week, and it's had a very long road. It was based on a novel written back in 2000, and now it just finally saw the light of day through the Weinstein Company. who produces a lot of Quentin Tarantino's movies and a few other movies. He produced Shakespeare in Love. They were kind of hoping for another one of these. So a little quick background on it. The premise of the movie is
Holland.
What?
Is it Holland?
I think it's like Holland or like England or something like that. I don't even remember.
I think it's Amsterdam.
It's Amsterdam. It's Amsterdam. Yes. Alicia Vikander's character is married to Christoph Waltz, and Christoph Waltz is obsessed with having a child. She can't have a child. He falls in love with Dane DeHaan, who is a painter. They have an affair, and she still can't get pregnant. And her housemaid gets pregnant from this dude, and they have to trick Christoph Waltz into thinking that that's her baby. It's really weird. It's a really forgettable film. The road up to it was a little bit more interesting than that. 2005, they had a version of this film that had Natalie Portman. I think Judi Dench was attached on there for a long time.
Is that Galifianakis in this?
Zach Galifianakis. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Natalie Portman was in it, and like a bunch of big actor names were in it around that time, and never really got off the ground. They planted 12,000 tulips, and they built sets and everything for the movie. Never got off the ground.
What?
So continuously, they're trying to get this movie going. And finally, in 2014, the Weinsteins, Harvey Weinstein specifically, was trying to get this film, and they got it. So they filmed the movie in 2014, and they did their first test screening in 2014. But Alicia Vikander and I believe Zach Galifianakis had little scheduling conflicts where they couldn't promote the film that much. So 3 years later, it's finally trying to get released because they never could get released. But now, Cara Delevingne's also in this movie. Cara Delevingne's in it. Cara Delevingne and Dane DeHaan are now in a movie together. Zach Galifianakis isn't that famous anymore. He's not. I haven't seen him in anything really.
Oh, no, he's got an Emmy award-winning TV show on FX.
Well, I'm talking about like film-wise.
He said his most time right now was spent on his farm and promoting his TV show.
Yeah, well, like his fame in film has kind of faded. Alicia Vikander is a huge star now. Christoph Waltz has really phoned it into this performance. So it's a long road coming, and it's a really mediocre film. It's not great. It's really boring and dry. I didn't think it was terrible, but it was really dry. So it's a solid kind of 4.5 out of 10 movie, but the road up to it's more interesting. But these movies we're going to be talking about kind of went through the same thing, and the first 4 we're going to talk about actually never got released to this day. So I'm going to go ahead and take the first one. So the first one I'm going to talk about, there was a video game back in the early 2000s that was the first Microsoft Xbox game. And the game was called Halo. And Halo never really, it always got really big responses with crowds, and the story really connected with people. The story, just really briefly, is just kind of...
Very confusing.
There's these genetically engineered Spartans, which are like super soldiers. They go fight this alien
Man, that's not
race.
even it, buddy.
Well, I'm not done. And there's like a big virus called the Flood that they're trying to protect Earth from with these halos. Real broad, but it's kind of a basic thing.
That is not the plot, buddy.
It's kind of close, isn't it?
Okay, it's humans used to travel the stars back in the day.
Give me the short version.
Okay, back in the day, human astronauts conquered half the universe, went to war, the Flood came, everybody died. They made halos that would like clone. They would destroy the universe, and the halos would clone everything in the universe on planets. And another alien species that's a coven of different aliens at war with the people, and the Flood comes, and they got to work together to stop the Flood.
Well, and the Flood is like a big super virus, right?
It's an alien.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, the important part is there's a director named Neil Blomkamp, and Neil Blomkamp directed District 9. This is before District 9, though. So Microsoft tried to sell the rights to all these different studios. They didn't really know how to, though. The way they went about it was really bad. So I believe Steven Spielberg was on to like produce or something like that. I might be wrong about that. No, Peter Jackson. It was Peter Jackson was on to produce it, and then Guillermo del Toro was going to direct. But he left it because he wanted to do Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. So they brought on this young director that Peter Jackson recommended named Neil Blomkamp to direct it. And he got kind of frustrated. The studio didn't really trust him. He said they treated him like crap, and they just kind of like went along. And so he just made his own Halo short film, and they just never really liked him. And they never really liked him, so the project never got off the ground.
Now it's a web series, and they've had animated shorts come out for it.
But still no film. He said they wanted to do something generic. He wanted to do something fun and original. But why don't you go ahead and take the next one?
Sandman. Believe it or not, I've actually read this. It's based off an early '90s comic series written by Neil Gaiman, who's also the author of Coraline. He was the author of Stardust and a lot of other well-known graphic novels and films. It became films. And this was like he called it his magnum opus was The Sandman. It's about that Morpheus, the god of dreams, was kidnapped by a cult who wanted to give him immortality, but since he was the god of dreams, he had to sleep, he had no immortality to give him, so he kept him trapped in the globe for like 80, 90 years, and people all over the world were slowly slipping into comas. And he finally got released, and he had his three sacred items, and that kind of gave him a lot of his power. And they had like divvied up in the years, had gone like between different people, and it just got lost. So his quest is to find all his items, get his power back, and rejoin his brothers and sisters. So he travels the world, and he interacts with like a lot of DC characters, and he a lot of adventures with Constantine. And I think he even goes to hell because they had stole his mask.
Oh, well.
And
what do you know about the movie?
Okay, well, the movie's been in production for 20 years, 25 years, and they couldn't get anybody attached to it because, I mean, today, I mean, back in the day, it kind of fell in the same category as the Crow, kind of like a goth hero. I mean, look, I mean, totally a goth. We weren't even a hero, just a goth character, and that's kind of not big anymore today. And it's not grunge is over, goth is over. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who was a big fan, really big fan, said he read all the novels, big fans of Neil Gaiman. He said, I want to play the character. So he said, if I had to, I'll produce it myself. And a studio never kind of bought into it. So still to this day, JJ is still trying to get this movie made.
Yeah, I think that James Mangold, the director of Logan, actually tried to make it an HBO miniseries.
Yeah, it didn't fly.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that one seems kind of really interesting, but I don't know if it would ever get brought to screen. But yeah, this next one is another one from Mr. Neil Blomkamp. This one was in production hell for a very long time, and it's still, it's forever gone now. But I'm talking, of course, about Neil Blomkamp's Alien movie. And Neil Blomkamp's Alien movie I think it was supposed to take place kind of like after Aliens. Like he was supposed to make it basically another Alien 3. And it was supposed to have Ripley in it, all the crew and everything. And the concept art for this got leaked, and it's really, really cool concept art. It has aliens with face masks on them, like kind of like virtual reality looking things. The world he created looked really, really cool. I'm a big fan of Neil Blomkamp's kind of like style.
I don't know, like Chappie was not good.
Well, I mean, as far as
Chappie was horrible.
It's kind of like his production style. Like Chappie is just a bad script.
Yeah.
And but just as far as the concept art for this, he would have been perfect for this. For anybody that's seen District 9, he has a really good sense of kind of like hearts with aliens and kind of like granted there's no heart with these, but like big science fiction adventures with aliens in it is really his stride. He loves those. And this is really up his alley, and I hate it never got off the ground.
Do you think he's just hard to deal with?
Neil Blomkamp?
Yeah.
Yes. I think he's extremely hard to work with. The way he talked about Fox, because he said he never worked with Fox again. He's like, they treated me so terribly, and he just like bad-mouthed them the whole time. I think he's a bit arrogant. I think he's, I think he likes himself a lot.
Because I've noticed a pattern.
Yeah.
Just sitting over here, his name's come up.
Yeah. Just, I think that is. I think that's the common thing. When you get fired from so many things, it might not be the company you work for. It might be you. But why don't you take the last one?
The next one we got is Akira, and it is it's based off a manga from the 80s, and it became one of the highest and most influential anime films of all time. And it was, I mean, a lot of films you see today were based off of pieces from this film. And as with all of great anime, America keeps trying to make them into movies that never really get off the ground. If they do get off the ground, they usually crash and burn. So this has been in production for like 30 years now, 30 years, and the closest ever got to being made was the plot points for Chronicle. Closest they got was Chronicle, and I believe they had want to make Akira in New York and totally whitewash it. Cast no Asians, no Japanese. Have all these people with Japanese names. They're just living in New York, white people.
Oh my God, that would be so terrible.
Kristen Stewart was attached to it. I think they wanted at one point James Franco to play Kaneda in it, and they never even cast Akira. And Akira's a 10-year-old boy. I mean, they just.
It's hard to find a 10-year-old boy that can act.
I mean, it passed. It's a long list of directors I can't even name. It's from
Jordan Peele is the last one they got attached to.
It's director to director to director to director. It's been passed down for 30 years, like a sacred torch that every director once in his career gets passed.
Yeah,
and it's not going to. It's just never going. And to be honest, I hope it never gets made.
It's going
to be whitewashed.
It'll suck. It'll be down to like the bare kind of like action set pieces.
Yeah. Like I feel like the biggest problem with anime movies is the same thing that happens with video game movies.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when anime, manga, video games, there's this whole other experience, and instead of trying to make a new story in the same universe, they try to recap 20, 40 hours of stuff into this really condensed thing, and it just doesn't translate.
See, I mean, this was based on an anime film because you think it'll be easier to do. I mean, they could just remake the anime film, but you can't do it and not have like an international cast for it. I mean, last time I checked, all white people cast, all of them. Everybody, you got like a guy walking around.
Because that's what sells. I mean, that's what studios think sells, and that's what they got to be selling.
Yeah, you got like a white guy named Tetsuo in it. I'm just like,
what?
Tetsuo. He's the main villain in this.
Yeah, I know, but that sounds so stupid.
But the whole point is like it's about psychics in the future, and they go and fight, and one destroys the entire city, and they had to find and the original story was find a way to awaken Akira, but Akira had become pure energy because his psychic abilities had drawn out, where he started a whole new universe.
Okay, so we talked about some movies that never got off the ground. So let's go ahead and speed through these. We'll just kind of give a real surface level of these. These are ones that got stuck in production hell.
This should never happen.
Well, some of them should. This first one, Independence Day Resurgence. Independence Day 2 was rumored for a very long time, but it never really got off the ground.
Never should have happened.
It finally did, but it's really bad. So this next one was actually one we talked about.
This could have been better, but they didn't do it. I think at one point, what's his name? Opie Taylor was going to direct it.
Oh, yeah?
Opie Taylor, Ron Howard. And then they had Javier Bardem and threw that out. HBO series threw that out. And they're like, let's make a movie and do a TV show series after that.
What are you talking about?
Let's do nothing about The Dark Tower. Let's do nothing what he wrote. Just make our own story for it. And bam, you get a flop movie.
Yeah, and it was not very good. But these are two good ones, actually. And the biggest one that got stuck in production hell that actually made it through was Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson actually brought this one out with when he was working with Weta, with all these visual effects. And it's truly one of the best trilogy of all time. It's really a fantastic story. They took their time with it. But it also made way for, 3-parters of a small book called The Hobbit. That sucked. But this last one is another one that people were begging for. That gets
Deadpool, wow. I mean, Deadpool was one of those films like, we got to make it PG-13, but you can't have a Deadpool movie and have a PG-13. It's violent. So
vulgar, too.
Vulgar, so no one could really think of what to do with it until Tim Miller's like, let's make a rated R movie.
There's even a rumor that Ryan Reynolds leaked that they had been working on it just to get public demand up high enough to make the studio have to put it out.
Oh, yeah. If it wasn't for that leak, it would have never happened.
There's a rumor that Ryan Reynolds is the one who leaked it, like him and like two other people that he knew.
Leaked the test footage?
Yeah.
There's a rumor that
Tim
he was
Miller
the
and
one
like somebody else.
Yeah, and like people went ballistic when they saw the test footage. They even like let the test footage part in the film.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit more fixed up. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're having a ball talking to you guys about this kind of stuff. If you have any opinions or things you want to talk about, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So we're going to come right back, and time for movie review number 2, It. Stay with us.
It what?
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
Nash Community College will host the inaugural Bounty and Barrel event Thursday, November 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. Join the community for an evening of North Carolina harvests, meats, and seafood while sampling barrel-aged spirits and student craft beer, plus a VIP hour with special guest and certified spirits specialist. Don't miss this Bounty and Barrel event, November 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. on the campus of Nash Community College in Rocky Mount.
And we're back, guys. Welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac Anderson.
He is Isaac.
Yeah, and Amanda's back. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so guys, we already talked about one movie that sucked. Let's talk about one that's actually pretty good. And it's time for this week's movie review.
It.
It. Stephen King's It, to be exact.
Stephen King's what?
Oh, shut up. Okay, for those that don't know, it is a movie that got released last week. It is about a group of children that hang around each other known as the Losers Club. And there's some weird stuff happening in the town of Derry, Maine, their hometown. And it seems as if there's a killer clown that the only kids can see that eats children. And they're trying to go on a big old hunt to kind of find him, and the whole while you get some cool character moments. But Tyler, what did you think about this movie?
It was good.
It was good? Is that it?
No, it was fantastic. There we go. It's better. It's fantastic. It was like it was one of those horror films, rare horror films, where all the characters are fleshed out.
Yeah.
Fleshed out, and the you had child actors at phenomenal jobs. I mean, the acting and some of the scenes to me were top par. I mean, there was like some of the interaction with the children was better than I actually saw from anything else in the film.
Yeah. The children in this movie were actually really top notch. The
Spot
characterizations. I don't think I have any photos for this either, so I'm sorry. But I just it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. That's why I was talking about this. But yeah, I mean, I really think that the children in this movie were really, really awesome. Especially the girl in the movie that played Beverly.
Yes.
She was really, really good.
Because, a lot of times you see actors and they're like, they stop acting when they're not saying words. This, you can tell she was like keeping on in the character in between her lines, which it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciated the fact that the movie took its time to try to show you how these characters live and how they act and how their home lives are and tried to kind of get their relationship with the clown Pennywise.
It was a dramatic horror.
Yeah, like Pennywise, they really take their time to show you that each of them have been traumatized in some way by Pennywise.
It was like the Goonies with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I said it was more like Stand By Me with a killer clown.
Okay.
Because the characters are so likable. But it's
you realize he wrote that too.
Yeah, I know, Steve. I know, that's what I'm saying. But I saw a lot of Stranger Things in this, as far as
I saw a lot of this in Stranger Things. All I can really say.
Well,
Stranger Things is actually based off of it.
Well, yeah, I'm saying as far as kind of but as far as the movie goes, partly because one of the kids named Finn Wolfhard, he actually is in the movie, and he's also in the show Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Looks like he's having a ball. He gets to say certain words I don't think he could say on Stranger Things.
No.
But
yeah, he had a foul mouth in it.
He's got a terrible mouth in this movie. But as far as the other kind of stuff goes in the movie, there's a lot of there's a Gremlins poster in the background on one scene. There's a Lethal Weapon 2 and Batman and the cinema thing. And obviously they're there because the director likes those movies, and they're not really there because the kids would watch that. Gremlins is kind of
No, kid. Gremlins back in the day was a kids movie, man.
I know, I'm saying, but
he was the biggest kids movie.
They're only in there because the director likes those, and they came out around that time. But still,
well, I mean, you can ask Drew. Everybody back in that day had a poster of Gremlins somewhere.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it's more than that. It's little things like that. There's all the '80s memorabilia that's in there just because the director likes it, which is fine. I like the little production things like that. Just the tone of it was really Stranger Things-esque too. The dialogue is very Stranger Things.
Well, I mean, a lot of the dialogue was straight out of the book.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
99% was straight out of the book.
As far as direction goes, the way they delivered it, and just a lot of the things in there kind of reminded me of that. But I mean, yeah. And also, let's talk about Pennywise for a second. Pennywise the clown.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he did really good. Who was it?
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård played him, yeah.
Yes.
And Tim Curry played him in the television movie that's not very good. But
it wasn't bad.
But as far as the performance he gave, it's really weird. I don't know how I felt about the drooling the whole time. Like he had the little drool thing.
He's a spider, man. He's in the.
I love the drool.
Do you like the drool?
He feeds off of scared children. So if there's a bunch of terrified children running around,
He's
that's an
drooling.
appetizing meal.
Oh yeah,
who wouldn't be drooling?
I mean, it makes sense.
It shows his hunger in a physical way instead of it just. Yeah. I thought
nice.
it was a great choice. It was actually it's creepy too.
It's creepy.
You know, it was unintentional.
And it was real.
Oh yeah, it was
real drool.
So it hit the teeth, and he's trying to talk with all his fake teeth, and he's sitting there drooling because he can't. It was in the way of his mouth teeth, so he's just drooling right. It couldn't hold it in his mouth anymore.
He definitely looks pretty scary in this movie, and the way the kids kind of interact with the clown is really nice. And just I enjoyed they really took its time to really kind of show you just the kids being kids. I mean,
it had really heartfelt moments too. Really heartfelt moments.
And it was mostly just about, like, you know, Stephen King always says when it comes to writing, he said plot is the enemy of characters or story. And I think that's really what they kind of went with in this movie. They just really followed these characters around. It wasn't really plot driven, it was more character driven. I really appreciated that. You'll see horror movies with that. Apparently the original script for this was supposedly like one of the 5 best horror scripts of all time, if not the best, for people, because they had a bunch of really risque stuff that Stephen King had in the original book in there. And they cannot put in this movie.
Yeah,
they could not put it in this movie. They changed a few things. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Warner Brothers is like, we want a little bit more of a conventional jump scares movie that dumb audiences are gonna like, and they kind of met in the middle somewhere. You know, it's they have a few jump scare kind of moments, but you know, the biggest complaint I hear about this movie from people is like, oh, it wasn't scary. I want, you know, like, that's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is to, you know, follow the characters and be invested in that story.
That was creepy.
It was less like terrifying and scary as much as it was like atmospherically super creepy and tense. Like,
and that was the whole thing. You know, I don't care about a jump scare because jump scare is cheap. You know, your body's made to react like that. That doesn't count.
See, man, I exactly what you said. I love the atmosphere. They spent time to build this town, you know, to build the area before they actually brought the horror in. I mean, you got to build up before build up from the ground before you throw the horror.
But say Pennywise isn't in it for a long time. You know. Like
he's right there at the beginning of it.
Well, I'm saying like he's in
the beginning.
I'm saying like he's in the beginning of it, but like there's a little period in the movie where it's mostly just like the kids are just kind of running around doing their own thing, and occasionally he'll pop up. Kind of like he's not there throughout the whole thing chasing them. You know what I mean? And I really respected that. But overall,
because it kind of gives you the idea that he's always present.
Yeah,
like,
he's
even
always
if you
there.
can't see him, he's there.
He's there. He's
and
watching.
he takes shape of your worst fears and everything.
Sends
and
illusions.
Speaking of atmosphere, like if you ever go and watch the movie, pay attention to the TV in the background, because it's a children's show that's running constantly.
It's saying everything
it's
that
saying
they
stuff
did.
like always follow balloons. The sewers are fun. You should play in them. Like, it's just this children's show that's just running in the background of all these scenes.
And it's him telling these children to go follow. Just trying to get them to come to him.
Yeah, and a little bit of spoilers for it.
Kill
by the way.
him. Go ahead.
But well, I mean, that's what I want
Okay.
to talk about. Because I didn't want to spoil it for people. There's a character in the movie that's like just a terrible bully. He borders on like first degree sociopath and like straight up child delinquent and psychopath. And so there's a scene where his dad's asleep in a chair. He's a police officer, and the television has the children's show, and that was probably the creepiest part of the movie to me. It's like, and you can float too. It's like, you just need to kill him. Kill. And they're all going to kill. And then Pennywise shows up, and then he like stabs his dad in the neck, and his dad just kind of like stares at him and bleeds out. It's the scariest part of the movie to me.
Another creepy moment in the library, before the librarian comes up and talks to him, she's just standing off in the background. She's not even in focus. But if you pay really close attention, she's staring at him with a Pennywise grin.
Oh yeah,
like just back there in the corner. Like
I noticed that.
It's happening. There's just a lot of little subtle, creepy, off-feeling stuff throughout the whole movie. It's meant to like make you unsettled.
And the children's show was probably my favorite. Just seeing all those happy people, like all the children, doing all that. That was definitely creepy. And Bev's dad. Bev's dad is scarier than Pennywise.
See, and also I love the Easter eggs in this too. Like he goes picks the turtle up, the little Lego turtle, and they're holding the turtle. That
isn't the universe supposed to be like on the back of a turtle or something like that in the book?
No, it's supposed to be like they're represented by animals. Like it's represented by the spider, and then Gan, which was the one who defeated him and trapped on Earth, which you're not gonna find this unless you've read like the Dark Tower. He was defeated by, and Gan was represented by the turtle, and Gan was all that was good, and it was all that was evil. So like it is a fraction of what he was.
Oh wow!
So he's trapped under Earth under a meteorite.
Well, I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah. You know, what would you give this movie?
I'd give it like probably a 9.2 out of 10.
Okay. I'm probably going to go 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. They definitely tried to kind of shove all the weird elements of Stephen King's book. I don't think Stephen King's it is like a perfect book. It's definitely a lot of ideas in there that I really like. You know, and I think the movie could have been elevated even more than it was if that original script kind of like not the child weird stuff in the script, but like the script that they were talking about that Stephen King said was like one of the best scripts he's ever read. I kind of wanted to see that, but Warner Brothers had to water it down. But who knows? It might not have been that.
And I mean, to me, I love the shout-outs, the people who've read the book and the people who were the fans of Stephen King himself, the shout-outs from it. It was like I don't know if you noticed, but like probably every 15 minutes was like an Easter egg. I loved it.
And the kid literally picks up Easter eggs at one
Yeah,
point.
it's Easter eggs. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really love talking to you guys.
Mama was in it.
Mama?
Remember that movie Mama?
Yeah, the director of Mama was in
the
it.
thing with the painting was Mama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Mama. I was like, that painting looks like, it's like.
I'm excited, I didn't know that. I never saw Mama.
I was like, oh my God, that's what she looks like, man. I was like,
oh. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC.
Do you love Stephen King as much as I do?
Did you wish Isaac would have picked some photos out for you to look at?
Should I wear his skin? Should I wear his skin? So.
Okay, but guys, thank you so much for watching. When we come back, time for movie review number 3, Death Note.
Well, you're doing 3 movie reviews.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
Nash Community College will host the inaugural Bounty and Barrel event Thursday, November 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. Join the community for an evening of North Carolina harvests, meats, and seafood while sampling barrel-aged spirits and student craft beer, plus a VIP hour with special guest and certified spirits specialist. Don't miss this Bounty and Barrel event, November 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. on the campus of Nash Community College in Rocky Mount.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name's Isaac Anderson. Who are you?
I'm Tyler, man.
Get excited.
Yeah, I ruined your little moment. But today we're talking about a 3rd movie review of today, and that was a little. I wouldn't even call it like magical. I saw a small, tiny, silver screen.
Say the name of the movie.
Death Note to Netflix. It's a web-made film based off a popular and best-selling anime and manga from Japan. If you don't know anime comes from Japan, it does.
Okay. Yeah, so the premise of the movie, just because I think we come from 2 different perspectives here, because most everyone in this room right now, Hunter, you, and even Chris, have seen...
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Death Note?
I just seen it.
I'm going to say, you've definitely seen it. We were talking before the show. So, you have all seen the anime this is based on. I have not. I have not seen this, so I'm going to review this purely as a film.
You gotta watch it.
Because I don't know anything about the anime in and of itself. So I don't think it's fair to compare it to the anime because this movie needs to stand on its own. And yeah, let's just go into the discussion. So what did you think about this movie?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Okay, Hunter, you can be a part of this too, because you haven't seen the movie, have you?
I haven't seen the movie, but I've read a lot about it.
Okay, so you can be a little part of this discussion. You can bring up more of the anime side to it, but I kind of want to stick more to about the movie in and of itself.
I'll throw in my 50 cents.
Your 50 cents, that's a little bit more than you're allowed.
But you can't tell me what to do.
Okay, 48 cents, give it back. Okay, so the premise of the movie is there's a character named Light who comes across this book called the Death Note. And the Death Note, you write someone's name in there, and they die, and you can write how they die and everything. And there's something called a Shinigami, which is like a Shinigami, called
Death God.
Yeah, a Death God, and it's like a demon, and it's named Ryu, played by Mr. William Dafoe. He's the best part of this movie. And,
he was the best part.
And he kind of goes around, and Light finds a girl, and they start killing people together in the book. And there's a character named L, who is kind of a detective, and he's trying to hunt them down and trying to figure out who Kira is, which Kira is the surname they go under, which is really kind of
stupid.
Dumb.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, I guess, I'll call myself Killer because in Japan, Kira means killer. Like, all right, that's like not weird. Everybody's gonna think he's in Japan. We're here. Let's do that. I'm like,
that was the dumbest thing. Yeah.
What?
And that's a big problem I have with this movie is that the characters are so dumb.
And then he goes, did you know that in Irish, Kira means light? Oh, let's go with that one.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me, like again, like the characters,
stupid. Stupid.
They're very stupid, and just as far as the movie goes, not even comparing them to the anime, because I know in the anime this is supposed to be like, this guy's supposed to be a super genius. I know that. It doesn't matter. The anime does not matter in the sequence. Yeah. As far as Nat Wolff's performance, he plays this kid like an idiot, and the biggest thing for me in this movie, as far as kind of like what gives it away, like when I knew this movie was in trouble, So Light gets the death note really fast, and it's very rushed, like how he
He's like,
gets
here you
it.
go, take it. Oh, I'm going to write
It
down.
just kind of
on it.
lands next to
Oh,
him.
here's a pen. He's like, I don't have a pen. And Reed goes, here's a pen. Go ahead, write in it. I kid you not, that happens. Here's a pen.
Well, they're rushing.
He hands him a pen.
They're rushing to get there, and Ryu kind of shows up. It's like, well, if you write the school bully's name down, because Light gets beat up by the school bully a little earlier. He's like, you write the school bully's name down, he'll die. So he gets his face crushed in. Then Light tested. Apparently, his mother got killed by a drunk driver. He writes the drunk driver's name down, and the drunk driver's name dies. I'm dead serious. This is, by the way, spoilers.
Smile
for,
the camera. Look in the
spoilers
camera.
for Death Note. So get this. Okay, so Light has a super powerful book that can kill anybody he writes in it, as long as it's physically possible. And he just got to write the name down and know the face and know the name, know the full name. The first thing he does is go to his school crush and like, I got this book that kills people. You want to do it with me?
Yeah, and it does. That's how it runs.
I'm like, wait a minute, you just committed 2 felonies. Like it's like you're going to prison. Like you just
is he going
it.
to prison because technically he's got the power of a god? I mean, does that make him beyond the judgment?
Well, I mean, like
mortals?
he just admitted he killed these people, and it's so stupid. And then the girlfriend gets involved, and then she becomes even more of a psychopath than him. Elle's in there, and Elle's like the only one that's not stupid. He's like, Kira.
He was stupid.
Kira is actually in America because all you guys are dumb and you think he's Japanese.
See, I think he's America. Why? Because the plot says so. That's why.
Yeah. It's a lot of.
He lives in Seattle. Let's go to Seattle. Let's go to the special suburb in Seattle.
It's based in Seattle. This movie is in Seattle.
Seattle.
I think so. I don't know. Yeah,
it's Seattle.
It is Seattle. Yeah, because
they
have the fair. They have the fair.
No.
So they
he said nowhere. He goes he's in Japan. All these people are dead. The Yakuza. He goes, the guys in this special suburb in Seattle. How do you know? Because the plot says so. So they just go to Seattle. They go to. I'm serious. That's.
But I mean, the biggest, one of the biggest things right next to the characters is the plot. They're doing this like the whole time. Like they're just trying to chug along.
Are you being nasty right now?
No. Okay. I'm like they're chugging. Okay. They're chugging along. They're going. They're moving. They are going through the story like no one's business. And just as far as a movie goes, again, not even comparing it to the anime, the movie seems extremely rushed. Like they don't pay things off. Things don't really sit long enough. This guy never sits at all. This guy just sits on his feet. And the relationship between these two, I felt like it should have been more of kind of like an intricate kind of thing where you're playing like a cat and mouse thing. And it really wasn't. The second this guy meets up with him, again, spoilers, he's like, I know you're Kira. Let's hate each other now. And I'm like, wait a minute, that could have been something cool. Like they play with that, and it just wasn't.
He's like, if I was, wink, I bet you couldn't catch me, wink.
Okay, and
that's how it happened.
So that happens, and then the movie keeps going on. Yeah. The ending is the most offensive. The ending,
it was pretty bad.
Also, we need to talk about this real quick.
His dad was like, "Oh, you're Kira, right? Yeah, that's me. All right, I knew it. How'd you know? You had this book. What's the book got to do about it? I don't know.
Well, the way it happens, we'll describe that more in the show. Okay. So first off. The music choices in this movie are downright bizarre and don't work.
Air Supply everywhere.
Well, there's a lot of 80s soft rock in this movie.
Air Supply.
And the tone of this movie is supposed to be dark. Atticus Ross did the score for it, which kind of works, But it was really weird whenever, there was like an intense scene and now all of a sudden, turn around every now and then. Like, wait, what? Like this 80s soft rock starts playing. So then
Asia was there at one point.
Yeah. So at the end of the movie, there's this big sequence where the girlfriend wants to get the death note. She wrote Light's name in the death note. It's like your heart's gonna stop beating at midnight unless you.
Yeah. And he's like, you got to burn the page or it never happens.
Well, his girlfriend writes his name in the book. It's like, give the book to me and I'll burn your page. And so he goes to the school library, writes all these names down. You don't see the names he's writing. And it's all the while Elle is trying to get in this cop car because his butler got killed. So he's going in the cop car. And so Light's dad calls police officers to go to catch Elle and also watch over his son.
Oh, this not the part. He grabs a gun. He's like, I'm going to kill him myself. And he's like running through the streets with a gun. Yeah. Like he's like shooting at him like.
And yeah, so they keep going, and they have a stupid chase.
On his face.
And yeah, and they have a chase, and then Elle gets knocked out.
You look disappointed.
And so they go to the fair, like he says, meet me at the fair, and we'll go on the Ferris wheel, and we'll trade the book there. And also, the cops are still following Light, even though they were just commissioned to like protect him. Now they're chasing Light for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. They go to the top of the Ferris wheel. Something goes wrong, like where the girlfriend takes the book, and then you realize that Light wrote her name in the book. If she takes the book, she dies. And so she falls off, the whole Ferris wheel falls down, they both fall out, and she rips a singular page out of the book, and it falls into a fire, and it said, Light's heart stops beating at midnight. So Light falls in the river, and the girl dies. And then some stuff happens, and apparently he wrote all this stuff in the death note, and it's like, exactly this time, somebody will go up to a Ferris wheel and drop one page. He will live. I'm like, when can you dictate people live in this book?
I don't know.
Like, I thought it was the death note.
No, they're all child molesters, because then he'll go kill himself, and then they gotta go blow himself with a shotgun.
But when can you dictate, like, it has to be physically possible. And how can you detect it? It's like, well, he lives, because, like, he wrote himself in the book to live. It doesn't make any sense. And, like, the page, like, they fall down, and she picks out just the perfect page right there. It seems implausible. That's not possible. It's so dumb. And so he's describing all this intricate thing, and then it ends like it's another scene left in it. But then it's really frustrating. So
because Elle gets some pages, he's gonna write Light's name in it.
This is all I have to say. The anime and the movie should and are totally separate entities from one another. That being said, if the movie is based off of the anime, it should in some way, shape, or form maintain the spirit, the themes, the philosophy, and ideology of it. And this is just something that exists totally separate from the anime. This isn't Death Note. It's like they took the characters and did what they wanted with it. It's not based in the same area. It went from like this complicated philosophical question of what justice means and what is justice. They made Light just antagonists that got roped in by a crazy person, when in the way it's supposed to go, that he is supposed to be like an anti-hero, and so is Elle.
I mean,
there are no heroes in the story.
He's a godplex psychopath.
Yeah, he's a psychopath, and the other one is so fixated on bringing him in that he does some things that are probably just as deplorable as Light is.
It's kind of like saying, how far do you need to go?
How far do you go,
justice?
and what does justice mean, and does justice change based on? And all of that seems ignored for this. Just like
I didn't get any of that.
It doesn't have the spirit of Death Note, and
Not a bit.
that's my problem with how it sounds. That's why I didn't want to watch it.
And that's exactly my problem with it too.
That's why I didn't want to watch it, because like I had expectations because of the anime, and I know I'm not supposed to, and I know I'm supposed to treat it as a separate thing. But if it's based off something, it should at least have the spirit, the theme, just something that relates it to the original product.
No cat and mouse in it, nothing whatsoever.
It's just really heady, really cerebral, awesome series, and that doesn't.
This was
sound
nothing
like
but fluff, and it was nothing but fluff. There was no substance to it. That deep philosophical question, that deep meaning in there, was all gone because they wanted to get there. And I think the director actually tried. Alex Wingard directed it.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell this thing was doomed from like the writers to producers. They doomed this. He tried his. I can tell you tell he tried his, because Adam Wingard's a pretty good director.
Yeah,
and he tried his best with this. I mean, the scenery was really good. I mean,
some of the shots were interesting.
I mean, real. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of potential, but I feel like it should have been a miniseries instead of a movie.
It should have been an HBO series.
And I think it would have benefited a lot from that, having a few seasons of that. But overall, really disappointing movie, really kind of sucky movie, actually. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. Just because William Dafoe's performance was so fun to watch. It's the Green Goblin.
That's why I'm getting a 4 out of 10, because like, I would just say just his performance kind of makes it watchable.
Yeah, and it was just a mess of a movie.
Because I mean, if you think about live action Ryuk, I mean, this is the best you're ever going to get was with him and it was William Dafoe. William Dafoe's voice was like perfect.
Yeah, I mean, again, he has that one performance. He's a one-trick pony, but it's a good trick.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for watching this week. Next week we're going to be watching Darren Aronofsky's Mother. And,
no.
Oh yeah, Darren Aronofsky's a fantastic director.
I don't want to watch another fun comedy film right now. I'm kind of comedied out right now.
Well, guys, we'll talk about that next week. A lot of fun segments.
I hope this is as funny as his well-known film. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But guys, we're actually coming up. This is going to be our 30th episode, and I think another week or so, it's our year anniversary.
Year anniversary.
So we're actually thinking about trying to revamp the show up a little bit, trying to make it a little bit different, a little bit more fun.
We'll have some animals up here.
Maybe not all that.
Oh, okay.
But guys, if you have any opinions that you want, like about what you want us to do, like as far as changes go, good changes, not bad changes, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We want to change the setup a little bit. We want to kind of change
confetti cannon.
You know, some fun segments in there.
Yes.
Just some cool things in there. Let us know. Please let us know. We always listen. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hunter, thank you so much for being on here. We do appreciate it. We love you. Oh my goodness, Seven Nation Army, good. It was like the music video.
Yes.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Stay lovely.
Stay classy, San Diego.